My name is Zakia Harris, and today I want to talk to you about the power of water. So if you know me, you know very well that I love water, that water has become one of my greatest teachers, and I want to share with you today why, and hopefully it can be a guide and a support for you when you're having a difficult time. So about 7 years ago, I went through the greatest breakdown of my life. I was in a marriage that was not fulfilling me. I was doing work that I loved, but there was this other aspect of who I was that I also wanted to come out in my work. You know, I was compartmentalizing my spirit, compartmentalizing my soul. There was a part of me that showed up at home that was different than the person that showed up at work, that was different than the person that showed up with my creative endeavors or my spiritual endeavors. And I was really yearning to align and bring all of those aspects of who I was together. And I asked the universe for help. And I always say that sometimes when you ask for help, you don't quite know how it's going to show up. And at the time, it showed up in a way that was pretty traumatic. But now, in retrospect, I'm able to see that that was the best gift that I had. And so literally in the blink of an eye, I went from running a nonprofit to having to lay off my entire staff due to budget cuts and the recession. The marriage that I was in of 10 years, I was also working with my partner, also dissolved. The home that we were living in was foreclosed on. I got into a biking accident. I have a permanent scar on the center of my face. I didn't have medical insurance at the time, so I had an emergency room bill to go along with that. And it was like every part of my identity, every part of the person who I thought I was, a homeowner, a mother, someone who was employed, an entrepreneur, was stripped away from me. I no longer was able to hold on to those identities anymore. And I had to confront my own self, my own demons, and really get clear on, well, who are you? Who are you if you aren't all of these other things? And I realized that my true essence is water. My true essence was divine. And being able to honor and respect my divine essence and stay in the flow, that is really what shape-shifting for me is. And a teacher, the biggest part of that was the element of water, because water literally makes up the majority of our bodies. So deep down in my core, I really am comprised of water. Just as we know that water comprises most of the planet. We know that water is feminine in nature. Water is creative, it is fluid, it is always seeking the path of least resistance. Water can take the shape of any container. So whether I was employed or had a home, I was still water. I was still who I was. If I poured water in a glass, water takes up the glass. If I pour water on the floor, water takes up the shape of the floor. Water is always seeking its own momentum, right? It's not fighting. And that is what I had to do. When I found myself without a job, I'm still a mother. I still have to get up and go to work and find work and raise my daughter. Life still had to continue even though all of these things were happening. And that is where I was able to tap into my divine essence, tap into my divine flow, and be like water. Right? We know that water is sacred to many ancestral traditions. We know that water is one of the first things that happens when you begin any ceremony, any ritual, right? You're pouring libation to your ancestors. You're pouring a liquid out to your ancestors or to those who've come before you. When you find yourself in a stressful period, you can drink water. You can literally tape affirmations around your water bottle. And there is the science that backs this up now that says that it actually will raise the vibrational frequency of that water, and that will actually help raise your own vibrational frequency. And when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. And so we know that if we say great things to glasses of water, that it empowers the water. Think about the impact that it also has on your body, because you are water. When you say wonderful things to yourself, when you surround yourself by good people and tribe, when you surround yourself with high vibrational frequencies through thoughts, like attracts like, right? So you're only going to attract to you who you already are and what you're already manifesting. So if you want to get clear or do a litmus test for how you're showing up in the world, all you really need to do is look at your life, because your life is a reflection of who you are. So when you want to change that, if you want to shift that or you want to raise that frequency up, water can be your guide. Whether it's drinking water, taking healing baths on a regular basis, going out to bodies of water, whether it's the river or the ocean, or literally just dancing in the rain. Water is something that will always heal you and guide you and mold you. You can talk to it. You can program it to really work for you through your thoughts and through your intentions. So that's just a little bit about the power of water. I hope that you tap into that and are able to discover some new and exciting ways that you can really incorporate water as part of your own personal self-care practice and let water to be your guide. Okay, that is it for today, Shapeshifters. Until then, keep shifting. She.